First, let me say how honored I am to receive this award. I want to thank the Hall of Fame Academic Committee for honoring me in this way. And I want to thank my friends, Coach Siddons and Jeff Frost, for nominating me. Let me tell a little story of my life that I think is relevant here. I was born on a small farm near Fort Dodge. We had no electricity, no running water, and we still had an outhouse. By the way, I'm the youngest and the littlest one on the bottom left. We moved around in Iowa when I was young. We lived in 6 towns before we moved to Waterloo when I was in the 6th grade. When we moved to Waterloo at Home Park in Fletcher from the tiny farm town of Roland, Iowa in the 6th grade, I was already 1 year behind my class academically. I was actually astounded and depressed at how difficult schoolwork was at Whittier Elementary on 3rd Street, after being pretty good student in Roland. Frankly, I'm mildly embarrassed to say that I came within a hair's breadth of flunking 6th grade, even though I was trying my best. Parenthetically, I was a year ahead of my fellow 6th graders athletically. In fact, Roland, which had a population of only 700, a high school senior class of 20 students had just beaten West High in the state high school basketball tournament. It has been said that the West team that year was West High School's best in history. So that was a Hoosier story for Roland High just before we moved to Waterloo. Back to academics. I was lost and desperate and getting in trouble in 6th grade. My mother tutored me through 6th and 7th grade, and by 8th grade I was taking all accelerated courses, meaning I was placed in classes with the smartest kids a year ahead of me at West Junior High. In fact, I was put in the very first accelerated class at West Junior. Thank God for wonderful mothers. And I did love my time at West Junior. Great memories. Then there was West High School, 10th through 12th grade. West High School was very difficult for me academically, as I was taking tough courses, and exacerbating an otherwise tough class schedule I set for myself was the fact that I had become more and more obsessed with athletics, particularly wrestling, which required that I lose a lot of weight every week during the season. But it was worth it. Coach Siddons was a great mentor and motivator, the best coach in history, and is so recognized still all over the country. I have expressed to him many times my appreciation for all he did for me. I was very lucky to have had Mr. Siddons as my coach. On the academic side again, I was not at all aware at the time that West was in the top 1% of all high schools in the country academically. Frankly, I just became aware of it this year, but I should have known how good it was for 2 reasons. Number 1, during the period I was in high school, West High won the Bellamy Award given to the best high school in the state of Iowa. Not many people know that. Number 2, my senior year, I was for some reason being recruited by the best schools in the country, including the Ivy League and Northwestern, and offered full rides to attend those great schools of higher education. Since I was not at the top of my class academically, it surprised me that our school, yours and mine, had such a great reputation. Later, believe it or not, virtually all my academic endeavors were easy because of my fantastic academic foundation at West High. College, graduate school at Johns Hopkins, law school at the University of Virginia, consensus top 10 law school, and graduate school working toward my doctorate. All were relatively easy because of West High. I received a number of academic awards in college. For example, one that I am particularly proud of was the Big Ten Scholar Athlete Award. I also got straight A's the year I won my first NCAA wrestling title. So what have I done with my many, many years of education? I have mainly practiced and taught law. As an attorney, I've tried every kind of civil and criminal case imaginable, and have been counsel to some of the most powerful men in the country, including the Speaker of the House, a man third in line to the presidency. I taught law school, graduate school, and undergraduates, where I tried to figure out how students think and learn. And now that I am semi-retired, I teach constitutional law to those involved in the justice system. As I mentioned, one privilege I have had was my opportunity to serve as counsel to the Speaker of the House. In that capacity, I went to the Middle East with a congressional delegation. There we met and talked with many Muslims, some who liked us and some who don't. Here I am with the speaker just outside the border of Iraq. And here I am dining and meeting with a diplomat in Kuwait. For notes of my personal life, I'm married to Sandy and we have a son, Seth, and 2 dogs. I still love sports and working one day to win a national championship in racquetball. That is, when I have time to work out for them, which is rare. As I look back at my years at West, I have but one regret. I never went back and thanked all the great teachers I had, the ones who forced me, challenged me to think and study, and most importantly, to work. And now most of them have passed on. Probably today they're rolling over in their graves as they learn I am being given this award. They knew, and I know, that I was nothing special academically. I was just a kid, like any of you, trying to find my way through the twists and turns, the ups and downs of high school life. God has given us certain talents, and teachers are there to help you develop them. If you have had a teacher who has had a positive impact on you, go back and tell them. They will greatly appreciate your thoughtfulness. It will mean a lot to them. And you won't have regrets later, as I have. Do it today before you forget. Finally, let me say, since I left Waterloo, I have lived everywhere in the country, but I've always been an Iowan, and I will always be proud of the fact that I grew up in Waterloo. And most of all, I will always be proud that I was a West High Wahawk. Thank you all, and God bless.